What's up, universe? It's Julie here. I'm back with a channel refresh and sporting a new shorter cut. And if you came here from my main channel, then thanks, hello, welcome. So yes, this is my newly revived vlog channel. I hope you're just as excited as me. I feel like I'm back on the horse just a little bit. So anyways, let's jump right back into my first vlog in a really long time. We took Lincoln out to Philly, which is my hometown, and we went there for my great aunt's 90th birthday party. We got on our flight and all was well because the flights from Chicago to Philadelphia are really short, about like 2 hours, sometimes less than. There's even a running joke that by the time you take off, get a drink, you land again, and it's kind of true. So Lincoln just watched part of a movie and all was good except for the fact that Joe dropped his phone at takeoff and it slid like 3 rows behind him. The only hiccups I would say that we experienced was going through the airports, both leaving and arriving, because we forgot our stroller. And I can't believe we did that because all the times we've traveled with Lincoln, which is actually a lot now, we have never forgotten our stroller, especially something that's that big and important. I don't know what we were thinking. We normally land in Philadelphia and then are stuck there for a couple of hours until my parents can pick us up. That's the way we always time it. So we usually just nap him there in the stroller at the airport. But of course, without our stroller, he just skipped right through his nap. So by the time my parents picked us up, he absolutely lost it and had the meltdown of his life right in front of them. It would not stop. There was no end to it. It was just like crying and crying all the way home. So that was a good way to say hello. But after some sleep, the next day he recovered very nicely, and we purposely didn't meet up with any friends because we really wanted to give Lincoln time to adjust and rest. And my parents are still not retired, so they didn't really get to spend that much time with Lincoln, only at night, so it wasn't much, but it was still good quality time. The next day, we took him into the city for a surprise. And it's kind of funny how our priorities have changed now that we're parents, because normally I think I'd be all about trying to seek out doing some sort of food crawl or walking around Center City and shopping, strolling down South Street, all those Philadelphia normal things. But this time it was completely new. We just were seeking out intentionally things that Lincoln would like. Lincoln was feeling really tired from all the travel, lack of sleep, and so throughout the car ride he just kept saying he wanted to get out of the car, he wanted to go home. Lincoln, you want to go home? It's okay, we're gonna go somewhere super fun today. It's a surprise. Do you like surprises? No. But eventually we made it to our destination. Right now we're headed to the Please Touch Museum, the Children's Museum of Philadelphia. It's supposed to be really huge, has a carousel. He's never been to one of these places before, unfortunately. We haven't taken him to one of these things before. And it's a good one to start because it's so huge. So we're excited. This is beautiful architecture. Like, look at that. This is nuts. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Look at the clouds. Cute. And remember how I said we forgot our stroller? Well, luckily my dad was able to borrow like an umbrella stroller from one of his friends, and that was an absolute lifesaver. If you decide to go to one of these places with a young child, it's just kind of nice to have a reliable seat for them to sit in and just escape from all the pandemonium and chaos, because it can be a little bit much. We thought Lincoln would be super into the room with all the cars, trucks, and buses, and he was at first, but he just wasn't willing to get in all the vehicles and play around. He did spend some time fixing cars. So we just decided to go downstairs. There was a lot of rooms to check out, so we went into the skyscraper-shaped elevator and discovered the rest of the museum. We made our way to the pretend marketplace, and I was secretly excited because I always wanted him to go to one of these things. I've always wanted him to play with one of these fake grocery store places because he sees it on Blippi, his favorite YouTube show.
And the fact that you do it with him in real life.
I know. Oh my gosh. Daddy found a basket. Oh yeah, you're the healthy one.
Wow. Some avocado, banana.
He's going for the expensive cheeses. Oh, okay. Oh, I love that he gets his groceries and has to cook it immediately. Whoa, cheese head. Ooh, that looks yummy. cheese. Scan it. Yep. One at a time. I just about died watching him interact with all the other kids, especially the cashier. And they both had fun just exchanging money and putting the food down the conveyor belt and everything. It was just so cute. Downstairs, there's like a whole world. It's like a town. So you can choose any building that you want to go to. Like there's the hospital, it has an ambulance in the front. There was the grocery store. Now there's the bistro, like a cafe. Oh, of course. This is where Daddy ends up in, the shoe store. We would have spent more time going into the other buildings of this little town, but seriously, at this point, Lincoln was just not having it. He was just sitting in the stroller. At first, I was kind of like forcing him. Like I really wanted him to experience all these fun things and like get our money's worth in a way. But then I'm like, let me back off and let's just let him go and explore things at his own pace. He keeps wanting to sit in his stroller, not wanting to participate, but I think that he needs to be in an environment that he's used to, like a playground. Yeah, now you got some life back in you? So we just went back upstairs to this water table area, which I think was really amazing. They give you these little smocks or aprons. And I think playing in the water area with the boats and just being in his element, being a kid and enjoying this kind of activity really helped him to just center himself and calm down. So then he was ready to have a second win for the rest of the museum.
Lincoln, where are we going?
No matter how much you think you've seen, there's still so many more rooms to discover. It's like never ending. So we went into this kind of like outer space area and he had fun shooting off the rockets and watching all these balls spin around and everything, and it was cool. But even still, at one point, I think the stimulation got to him, so there were a couple of meltdowns. And it's kind of a shame because we were so excited to see him go on the carousel because we know he likes them. Like he likes it at the zoo and whatever, but I don't know, it was just one of those days. So at first he seemed to be having fun, but then eventually I could read his body language and it seemed like he was starting to get panicked. And at some point he even lost his shoe. I don't know how that happened. So that's when the tears started flowing and I had to hold him for the rest of the ride. We're on our lunch break right by the merry-go-round. But I will tell you, the lunch here is very, very sad. It's expensive and small portions. The hot dog with tater tots, they give you a good portion of tater tots at least. And Lincoln has a chicken fingers that comes with an applesauce. At least he's eating and getting some energy. And he's zoning out with some Blippi because I feel like he needs downtime. What do you think of this museum?
It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's a lot to do, but I feel like for his age, or maybe just for him specifically, it's a little overwhelming. And after lunch, we tried to get him to go on the carousel again. And so this time I just stayed on the sideline and watched for them. And I was watching all the horses pass by and I'm like, where are they? And I couldn't find them. I was looking for them on the horse, but they're not on the horse. It's hilarious. The lunch finally kicked in and he had more energy, so he was off running around in the play areas, the slides jumping around. I think that definitely helps too. After the historic train area, we decided to make our way back to that little town and give it a second go. And this time he had no problem going into all those little stores, and he especially had fun at the hospital. And it was so cute because he was driving the ambulance and he loved it until I was joking around saying, oh, drive mommy to the hospital, I'm so sick. And then he was so concerned he couldn't drive anymore. He kept checking in on me and it was so cute. But the best part was watching him take care of the babies. And it was just so cute, especially as he was trying to tuck them in, take them to get an x-ray. And then all right, now push the button. And then especially when he donned the doctor's coat, then he became really official and into it. He was so busy.
Dr. Yoon. Dr. Yoon.
Do you want to take Daddy to get an x-ray? Next, we went to the little bistro, and he had the most fun there. And it was so weird because the first time we tried to get him to go in there, he wouldn't. But for some reason, this time around, he was the only kid in there. So then he had so much fun building the sandwiches, scuttling back and forth, restocking shelves, waiting on tables. And he especially had fun with the ketchup. He just kept squirting ketchup on everything. I don't even know where he learned that from. Hello, can I have a sandwich, please? And I couldn't take it, just looking at him in his little apron, just running around. I mean, it was just so adorable.
You gonna put some lettuce on the bread? And some tomato? Wow, that looks like a good sandwich.
Okay, ready to go?
Oh, good job. No.
You're a good waiter, too. Oh, you're so busy. You gotta... All right, here's my money. Here's my money. Here, put it in. Okay, I gotta buy the sandwich. All right.
Double.
Oh, good job.
Wow, speedy.
Thank you. You're so busy.
Thank you.
We had a full day, but the meltdowns are starting to come, so that's our cue to go. Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
All right. Can you say bye-bye, museum?
Bye-bye.
The next day, we met up with my hometown friends. We had some pho, which was pretty decent, and then we went to go get ice cream from this local little stand that I used to get ice cream from all the time, but for some reason, never even once thought to take Joe there. So it was kind of cool to go there and experience it with him. And Joe got to experience what a medium-sized cone looks like. I was like, we were both in shock. I don't even know what the large looks like. I don't want to know. Then we went back to their place, and Lincoln got to play with, like, he was in heaven. He got to play with so many cars and all the toys and the boys, and they were so loving to him. And you know, it was really nice to see him get to play with other kids and have that good time and just unwind, and we get to catch up. The next couple of days were reserved just for families, so my sister's family came down and Lincoln got to play with his cousins and act like all crazy. They got to go on the playground and it was just fun. And then it was time for my great aunt's party. And I helped with the decorations, flowers, picking up the cake and the Korean traditional rice cakes. It wasn't much. It was just supposed to be originally just a small dinner for family only. And so even my cousin's family came from out of town. Hi guys! Good to see you again. Just to celebrate. So that's originally what we told my great aunt and everyone involved. But my dad at the last minute decided to make it a little bit more special and turn it into kind of like a surprise party for her. We're doing surprise. So he invited friends and church members, and so she was completely shocked. She was honestly so surprised that she even shed a few tears. It was so touching to see. She felt so special. And seriously, she does not look like she's 90 years old, right? I mean, I aspire to age gracefully like she does. Happy birthday to And I'm glad that we got to be there to celebrate such a big, important day with her and our family. The next day, we took it easy and just went to the local children's library, which surprisingly Joe actually found through some searching on the internet. And I've never even been there as a child, but it was so close by. They had just a little town built in there, almost like the Please Touch Museum, but on a smaller scale and free. We kept it chill because we knew the next day we were gonna go into the city again. We realized throughout this trip, the theme was do not overwhelm the child. Like give him some breaks, some breathing space to not meet up with people constantly, not do this next activity so much. So I think that's the key when you're traveling with a young toddler. We kept it easy in the morning and then we ventured out to Chinatown because actually every year we come back, we end up celebrating New Year's Eve in Chinatown because we always meet up with our friends. These are like our longtime friends that I like do not have a single childhood memory without them. And every time we come back for the holidays, we end up spending New Year's Eve together with them in Chinatown at the same restaurant called Thai Lake. And we ordered the same food. It's just like this tradition. Usually we're all donned up in ugly Christmas sweaters and just all crazy. So it's a lot of fun. It was nice that we got to do that again here, even in the summertime, because I don't know if we're gonna be able to go back for the holidays this year. So it was really kind of nice to have a taste of that tradition, even now on this trip. It was even our friend Helen's birthday, and I couldn't believe that she would spend that birthday time with us. So we felt so touched, and even though it kind of felt like Lincoln's birthday because they were all giving him presents and stuff for some reason, but it was really nice to be able to be together and celebrate together. And then for our last day in Philly, or like my hometown, we decided to keep it really chill and just go to a local farm. And this is a farm that I honestly live so close to but have never gone to. It's just not something that I knew that you could do, like go visit this farm. But we went to get their local ice cream, which had won some awards, and just walked around, and he saw some chickens, and there wasn't much to do because it was a little bit off season, but it was still kind of nice to get out and play on the playground and stuff there. And then we had to pack up to go to New York, but I'm gonna wait until our next video to show you all the footage of our time in New York because it'd be way too much to put into this one. So make sure you subscribe so that you know when that's coming out next. And it's kind of cool that I got to just experience or relive my childhood in a way through the eyes of my child in my hometown. Obviously, I did a lot of things that I didn't even get to do growing up, even though I was right there and all this stuff was right there. So it was kind of nice to be able to bring Lincoln, because other times we've come back, he was still so young, so he wouldn't be able to really understand or experience things. But this time he was able to grasp and remember names. I felt like he was even comfortable at my parents' house, and he understood the concept of having cousins because he doesn't have any cousins here in Chicago. So it was kind of cool to see that. If you ever come to Philly or you're from Philly, what are your favorite things to do with or without children? Let me know. I really want to know. Oh yeah, and even though we didn't take a picture of it, of course we had a Philly cheesesteak because I always do, without doubt. We had it like the first day we were there. If you enjoyed this video, remember to push like and also leave a comment down below. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.